You're ready for a better job and better pay. So you are scrolling through job postings, obviously. You find one job that actually looks interesting. And before you even finish reading what the job is, you have already scrolled to the qualifications section at the bottom of the job posting. And now you're doing the math in your head. They want 5 years of experience in this specific thing. I only have 3. They want a degree in this area. Mine is in something else. They want 12 qualifications and I only have 8 of them. And just like that, before you even gave yourself a chance, you have decided that you are not qualified for the job. So you close the tab and you move on. And if you're being honest, this has happened to you more than once. Maybe it happens every time you start the job search. You find something, you get a little bit excited, and then you talk yourself out of it before you even apply. And the frustrating part is you're not even sure anymore if you are being realistic about what you want in your career, or if you are just scared. Well, if that sounds familiar, this video is for you. Because in this video, I'm going to show you how to actually read a job description so that you can accurately tell whether you are qualified or not, why fear might be playing a bigger role in your job search than you realize, and what disqualifying yourself from a job before you even apply is actually costing you. Let's get into it. If you are new here, hi, and if you are a regular viewer, welcome back. I'm Dr. Tega Edwin. I'm a career coach who helps mid-career professional women leave draining jobs that they don't like and land higher paying, more fulfilling careers by coaching them to clarify their next career move and job search without burning out. Check out the video's description for details about how we can work together. Let's get into today's video. Okay, so you are in a job that you don't love anymore. Maybe you have been there for years now. The work feels like routine, you're not growing, you're not excited, and you know that it is time to find something new, so you do the natural thing, which is you open a job board and you start searching for jobs. You find something that you actually think, I might like to do this. You click on it. Again, you go down, you look at the qualifications, and you immediately lose all hope because you read that list and immediately start thinking about everything that disqualifies you from being able to apply for that job. Whether it is the years of experience, the degree, the certification, you're like, I don't have any of this, so I'm not qualified for this job. So you close down the page, you feel like you're going to be stuck in this job that you hate forever, and it sucks to feel like there's no hope for you in your career. It is demoralizing and discouraging. And yet, I have worked with enough women to know that you are probably not assessing your qualifications for that role correctly. You're taking yourself out of the running before really analyzing your qualifications, and that is why you feel unqualified for everything that you look at and feel like you're stuck in that job that you hate. And there are 2 very specific reasons that this happens to most mid-career professional women, and I'm going to share both of those reasons with you. The first thing you need to understand is that a job description is not a checklist. Companies write job descriptions describing their ideal, perfect dream candidate, not one who checks every single box and has every single certification or every single experience, exact skill. That person almost never exists. Hiring managers know that. Recruiters know that. The only person that is treating the job description like a hard requirement is you. So let's go through 4 specific language areas on a job description that is likely tripping you up and causing you to disqualify yourself from jobs that you are perfectly capable of doing. The first language breakdown is the years of experience. When a job posting says 3 to 5 years of experience, it does not mean 3 to 5 years with that exact job title. It means 3 to 5 years doing that kind of work. And as a mid-career professional, there are chances that you have been doing that kind of work across multiple roles, across multiple job titles over the course of your career. You just have not added up that time yet. So before you decide you do not qualify, go back through your work history and ask yourself, where have I been doing this kind of work, even if it was not the main focus of my job? even if it was just one part of a bigger role, even if the title was completely different, and add up that time. You might find that you have more experience than you thought. It is just spread across different chapters of your career. The second language breakdown is the degree requirement. This one is big. When a job posting says a degree in psychology, business, administration, or related fields, we often read that and decide that the degree that we have does not match, and so we move on. But you skip two of the most important words in that sentence: related field. Related field is broad. It is intentionally broad. The company is telling you that they are open to candidates whose education touched on similar concepts, similar skills, similar foundations, even if the degree name is different. And it gets even more open than that, because a lot of job descriptions will say degree in blank or equivalent experience. Equivalent experience means if you have spent years doing the work and you can demonstrate that competency, the degree itself is not a hard requirement. They put it there because it is a preference, not because it is a non-negotiable. Read those words carefully, because they are giving you more room to be qualified for that job than you are giving yourself. The third language breakdown is preferred versus required. And I think that this one is the simplest and the most overlooked. When a qualification is listed as preferred, it means it is a preference. It is something the company would love to have in a candidate. It is not something that disqualifies you if you do not have it. Required means required. Preferred means preferred. Those are two completely different words, and they carry two completely different weights in the application process. So when you are reading a job description, I want you to physically separate the requirements from the preferences. Required qualifications are the ones that you genuinely assess against. Preferred qualifications are the bonus. If you have them, great. If you don't have them, you are still qualified for that job. The final language breakdown is waiting to be 100% qualified. Okay, so this one is not an obvious language on the job description thing, but it is my rule of thumb for deciding whether to apply for any role. Your goal is to be able to do 70 to 80% of the responsibilities on the job description, not 100%. 70 to 80%. A lot of times, women will wait until they are 100%, 110% qualified for a job before they apply. But if you are 100% qualified for a job, you are overqualified, and overqualified candidates get rejected. Because first, companies worry that you will get bored. If you can already do everything that this job requires on day one, there's no room for growth, there's no challenge, and there is no reason for you to stay in that job. And hiring is expensive for them. They do not want to invest in bringing you in only to have you leave 6 months later because you outgrew the role and got bored before you even started. Second, they worry that you will be too expensive, okay? If your experience level is way above what the role requires, there's a good chance that your salary expectations are also above the requirement. And companies budget for roles at specific levels, and an overqualified candidate often comes with a price tag that doesn't fit their budget. And third, the reality is that sometimes an overqualified candidate threatens the people above them. If you are applying for a manager role and your experience level makes you look like you should be a director, the director who's interviewing you might not want to hire someone who could take their job, or the company might not be ready to open that higher level role yet, so they pass on you rather than deal with that complexity. So 70 to 80% is the sweet spot. Enough experience to be genuinely qualified and effective, enough room to grow so they believe that you will stay. That is what you're looking for when you read a job description. So not reading job descriptions right is the first reason why you might think that you are not qualified for jobs you want. Now, before I go into the second reason you might be keeping yourself from applying to certain jobs, let me say that you can better assess your fit for a role when you already know what specific role you're targeting. Because when you are clear on what you want, you read job descriptions with a completely different level of confidence. Okay, you know what you're looking for. you know what you bring to the table, and assessing fit becomes a lot more straightforward. So if the thing or one of the things that is keeping you stuck in your job search or your toxic job right now is not knowing what you want or applying to 3 to 4 different types of jobs, you should definitely check out my Peaceful Pivot Guide resource. The Peaceful Pivot Guide is a self-paced resource that walks you through a 5-step framework to get clear on the role you want before you start applying to anything. And you can find the link to grab that guide in the description below. Now let's talk about the second reason that you are struggling to apply to jobs or even know what you are qualified for. And that reason is fear. Fear, when you're in a job search, doesn't show up and say, hey, I'm scared. No, it usually shows up dressed as logic. Fear says, I'm just being realistic. I don't want to waste my time applying for something that I won't get. I don't want to set myself up for failure. I don't want to set myself up for rejection. Fear sounds reasonable. But the truth is that you're simply using the language of self-awareness to keep you from taking a risk. And that fear is keeping you stuck in a job where you are unhappy, undervalued, and unpaid. A lot of times we disqualify ourselves from applying to jobs that we are perfectly capable of doing because we are either afraid of being successful in that role, afraid of failing in that role, or afraid of being rejected when we attempt to land that role. And here is what I want you to sit with, okay? Every time you decide not to apply for a job that you are 70 to 80% qualified for, you are rejecting yourself before the employer even gets a chance to say yes. You are self-rejecting because you are afraid of someone else rejecting you. You are saying no to yourself on their behalf. You are making a hiring decision for a company that has not even seen your name or your credentials yet. That is not being realistic. That is self-rejection. And self-rejection guarantees that the outcome that you were afraid of is going to happen. Not applying is a guaranteed no. Applying at least gives you a chance for a yes. And it is important to think about what this is costing you, because every time you talk yourself out of applying, you stay in that job that is already draining you, your energy, your motivation, and your sense of what is possible for you in your career. Every time that you do not apply, your earning potential is being capped because you cannot negotiate a salary that you were never offered. You can't move into a higher paying role that you never applied for. The ceiling on your income right now is partly a reflection of the applications that you did not submit. And every time that you do not apply, you stay in a situation that is stressing you out, that may be impacting your health, your relationships, your confidence, and your joy. The cost of not applying for that job you know you're qualified for is not zero. There is a compounding cost that builds up every day, month, year that you stay in that job, meaning that every day you stay in that job, you're paying a higher cost. So here's what I want you to take from this video. Stop scrolling to the bottom of the job description first, okay? Read the whole posting, understand the role, and then assess the qualifications using what you've learned in this video. Add up your years of experience across roles. Look for words like related field, equivalent, preferred. Ask yourself if you can do 70 to 80% of what is listed. And if the answer is yes, apply. Give yourself the chance to land a more fulfilling job, because the job that changes your career is not going to find you while you're sitting in that job that is draining you. You have to go out and get that job, and the first step is applying. So if you've been asking, should I apply for that job? I hope that this video at least gave you an answer and that you found it helpful. And if you did, don't forget to tap the like and subscribe buttons below. Liking the video signals to YouTube that this video is worth sharing with more people. And when you hit subscribe, that ensures that you don't miss future videos from me that can keep helping you in your career. And candidly, it does help this channel grow. Thank you. And once you tap the like, subscribe, and notify buttons below, don't click away, because watch this. There is another video popping up on the screen right now. And I bet that you haven't watched that video yet. So tap that video, watch that video so that I can continue to support you in your career.